Absalom was the third son of King David, known for his extraordinary beauty and charm. From the sole of his foot to the crown of his head, the Bible says, there was no blemish in him. Despite his outward perfection, Absalom's life was marked by turmoil and tragedy. The story begins with a horrific act within David's household. Amnon, David's eldest son and heir to the throne, became infatuated with his half-sister Tamar, Absalom's full sister. Amnon deceived Tamar, lured her into his chamber, and assaulted her. Tamar was left humiliated and desolate. Absalom, enraged by the crime, took his devastated sister into his home and waited for his father, King David, to take action. But David, though angry, did nothing to punish Amnon. For 2 years, Absalom's fury simmered in silence. Then, he plotted revenge. Under the guise of hosting a feast, Absalom invited Amnon and the rest of David's sons. During the festivities, Absalom gave the signal and his servants killed Amnon. The murder sent shockwaves through the royal family. Fearing David's wrath, Absalom fled to his maternal grandfather's kingdom in Geshur, where he remained in exile for 3 years. David mourned both the loss of Amnon and the estrangement of Absalom. Eventually, through the intervention of Joab, David's military commander, Absalom was allowed to return to Jerusalem. However, David refused to see him, leaving their relationship fractured and tense for another 2 years. When Absalom finally forced an audience with his father by burning Joab's fields, the two were seemingly reconciled, but the rift between them remained. Absalom, dissatisfied with his position and hungry for power, began to conspire against his father. Using his charm and political cunning, he positioned himself at the city gate, where he would listen to the grievances of the people and promise them justice. Over time, he stole the hearts of the men of Israel. When his support was strong enough, Absalom declared himself king in Hebron and launched a rebellion against David. Hearing of his son's uprising, David was heartbroken, but acted quickly. He fled Jerusalem with his loyal followers to avoid bloodshed in the city, leaving Absalom to seize the throne. David's retreat was filled with anguish, humiliation, and the sting of betrayal. Absalom entered Jerusalem as the new king and committed acts that further alienated him from his father, including publicly taking David's concubines, a symbolic act meant to assert his dominance. Meanwhile, David regrouped and planned his counterattack. The two sides met in a decisive battle in the forest of Ephraim. Though Absalom's forces were numerous, David's seasoned troops prevailed. During the battle, Absalom's fate was sealed in a bizarre and tragic way. As he fled on his mule, his long, thick hair, once a symbol of his beauty and pride, became entangled in the branches of a great oak tree. Suspended and helpless, Absalom was discovered by Joab, who disregarded David's command to deal gently with him. Joab and his men killed Absalom as he hung defenseless. When news of Absalom's death reached David, the king was inconsolable. His grief poured out in one of the most heartrending cries in the Bible. "Oh, my son Absalom, my son Absalom, would I had died instead of you, O Absalom, my son, my son." Despite his rebellion and betrayal, David's love for Absalom endured to the very end. The story of Absalom serves as a sobering reminder of the consequences of unchecked ambition, familial discord, and the deep complexities of parental love. It's a tale as much about human weakness as it is about enduring love and heartbreak. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe, share, like, and comment. Thank you, and see you soon.